8 clean sheets in a row, and Max Dunn becomes the youngest player ever to feature in Champions League. Arsenal win 3-0, and the steamboat keeps rolling down the river. Welcome to Good News from Block 5 with me, your host SJ. If you watch this on YouTube, please subscribe, leave a like on the video. If you listen to Apple, Spotify, please subscribe and leave a 5-star rating wherever you're taking this podcast in. So, yes, as I mentioned yesterday night, we made it 4 wins from 4 in competition to go top briefly. And yeah, I mean, if you listen to my pre-match pod, I didn't put it on YouTube, but it was on Apple and Spotify, obviously. I would have made a wholesale changes, but as the game got closer and I saw the actual lineup itself, I think it made sense, to play a strongish team, given we got Bayern Munich and Inter Milan up next. The 3 points against Slavia Prague were actually important because if we had drawn or even possibly lost, 2 difficult games, and then after 6 games, you might find yourself being drawn back towards the pack and fighting for a top 8 position. I think 12 points, what we have now, will be enough to qualify for playoffs. Obviously, we don't want to be in that playoff situation and play 2 extra games at a crucial part of the season in February, March. So, I mean, in terms of the lineup itself, back five, Calafiori came out for Hincapié. Hincapié, we know, he's a smooth operator. He's got experience with Leverkusen in his competition at the highest level. Uh, Zubimendi, he was suspended, as we know. In came Norgard. And Eze got a break. He's got a well-earned break. I would have played him, I said, in the preview pod. But Ethan Waneri, who's impressed when he came off the bench recently. He got a start. And Declan Rice, who doesn't seem to get a rest or doesn't start running, doesn't get tired, it seems. He maintained his place. And up front, we had Marino, as we expected, down the middle, given Gyökeres is now out until after the international break. Trossard as well on the left, and Saka on the right, which makes sense because if you look at our bench, we had the likes of, the 5 that came on: Ezra, Diamonds, Ben White, Skelly, and Harriman and Noose. Other than that, it'll be Mosquera and Calafiore, which could be, our first team players, as in starters. I mean, as the game started, just the first 15 minutes, first 20 minutes, I mean, I confess I don't scout Slavia Prague on a day-to-day basis. I don't know who they have, but you saw from the offset that they had a big 6'5", 6'6" lump up top, Chori, and he was as big as wide as tall as he was. He wasn't like a Peter Crouch, 6'6", 6'7", long and lanky. He was a unit. So I mean, obviously, our scouting unit would have seen that. And if you got a big unit, we raise you 2 bigger units. We present to you Gabriel and Saliba. I mean, there was a point during the first half where it actually showed like it was focused on Gabriel next to him, and he made Gabriel look pretty small, to be honest. If I'm being fair, but Gabriel and Saliba, they'll give it good as they get. They're 2 strong lads. I mean, possibly, I'm not sure if Mosquera, being as young as he is and how slight he is, he's not really fully developed yet. He might have actually been troubled by that striker, so that could be factored into the decision why we played those 2 big units at the back, which makes sense, given that their main source of the box seems to be long throws. But yeah, I mean, we started very slowly, in my opinion. We couldn't get going in that first 15, 20 minutes. They had a couple half chances, nothing to worry about on our goal. It didn't seem until Gabriel went down with that little nasty face injury, where we regrouped, got the boys together, and just identify where we were going wrong. And I think after that, we found our footing. We got down a couple of times down their right hand side, our left hand side, Trossard over the top, and Saka also got in down that side as well. Um, Given our setup, obviously Gyökeres and Marino are 2 different types of strikers. Gyökeres, he's willing to run in behind, run the channels, um, receive it to feet sometimes if needs be. Whereas Marino, he doesn't have that getting behind pace ability to stretch defenders. So his game is mainly getting the ball to feet. And in particular, in that first half yesterday, he was dropping very deep. It wasn't even a false nine. I mean, if he dropped any deeper, he would have been playing alongside David. It seems he was dropping deep. He was dropping that far deep into the midfield to get involved in the play. So when you have them kind of strikers there, obviously you need two willing runners on the outside that can get behind and stretch the game. And I think Saka and Trossard, they did that. I mean, they're not our fastest wingers. Obviously, we've got Martinelli and Noni, who are obviously our two fastest wingers, but I mean, they're out. So, but I think Trossard and Saka were capable, and they started doing that. Saka had our first shot in vain, coming to the left-hand side. Pretty simple shot for the keeper to save. And then we just had a barrage, sorry, of corners in that second half of the first half. I mean, I thought it might lead to a goal because set pieces is what we do. Um, but no, I mean, it was a set piece that led to our penalty being awarded. I mean, the penalty itself, I wasn't too sure. We know the rules if it hits your body part first and onto your hand, it doesn't count, especially in England. The European rules are a bit, they're different. Let's just say they're definitely different. They're a bit wishy-washy compared to what we have in England. It seems to be if it hits a hand, it's a penalty no matter what. But then if you look at the Liverpool game after our game later on last night, Many handled the ball on the edge of the box, or it was like inside the box, and the referee didn't give a penalty though. He said he wasn't making himself big enough to deem it a handball. So yeah, I mean they can feel harshly done by Slavia, um, but on the other hand, what's his hand doing up there in the first place? For me, it's very unnatural. Jump up with your head and have your hand there. It's not natural for me to say um, it was a massively egregious decision, but they could be hard could feel hard done by. In the absence of Gyökeres, I mean Saka's our number one penalty taker anyway, but there was no dispute as to who was taking that penalty. Um, you can see, excuse me, you can see from years back where it used to be Saka taking penalties and you have a bit of a jitter, a bit fearful whether he's going to score or not because his penalties didn't seem to be as crisp as they are nowadays. But you can see he's worked on the training ground on his penalties. He's got very confident. He's got a little Fred Flintstone start step before he takes a shot, similar to Harry Kane. And I think that just going through the motions, his routine, it helps him. And he dispatched that penalty with aplomb into the bottom corner. Keeper dove that way. Dive. I don't know. Someone check me on that. I don't know. Dive. Keeper dived that way. But he couldn't get there. Just accuracy and the power on the shot itself was sensational by Saka. So yeah, 1-0. 1-0 to the boys. And we know when we go 1-0 up, it's pretty ominous for opposition. So given our clean sheet record to start, like I said, it was 7 before the game, and yesterday, made it 8 clean sheets in a row. There was another penalty shot in the first half. Again, Slavia might feel hard done by, given that the one that was given for us, Hincapié at the back post, it was up against that big lump. The referee gave a push in the back. I thought it was very harsh, very generous for us. I don't think there was too much contact to say it was a big push to make him off balance and fall over. But as he's fallen over, the ball's hit his arm as he's gone down. A different ref on a different day could possibly give that. Um, so I think we got lucky there. I think we got lucky. I mean, like I said, different ref, a different day that gets given. Some refs may side with this referee and say, no, there's no penalty. But I mean, again, it's also down to VAR because the first goal, the referee didn't give it, didn't see it, and then VAR's recommended you go have a look at it. If the VAR said, have a look at this, sometimes these VAR influence referee decisions. It may be the case that the VAR said, come and check at this, and Cabez handled the ball. There's not much of a push. I mean, you would say the referee didn't actually see the push on Hincapié again. So he may have, it went on second review, he might have said, no, there's not much contact there, and then awarded a penalty, but wasn't to be. And yeah, 1-0 half time. Straight after half time, we got a second goal. So, in my opinion, I think the second goal was a result of how Mourinho played in the first half. Like I said, in the first half, he was dropping so deep. The centre backs had no one to mark, essentially. And I think in that second half, they thought more the same. We got to mark, no, we got no one there to mark. Mourinho's dropping deep, and we just play what's in front of us. Well, I think it was 45 seconds into the second half. Ball goes out wide to Trossard. I mean, just from Trossard, he's having a blinder of a season. It's like people play well when they get paid well, when they get paid what they're worth. Um, and it seems like he's getting paid his money and he's enjoying his game. He's playing consistently this season. He used to be like what we said, he'll have a good game in four stinkers, and Martinelli will have a good game in four stinkers. And it was like a switching between the two on the left hand side. But Trossard this season has really stepped up. Um, and it's good to see. But he's put a good left football into Marino. Like I said, he didn't run. He was when the ball went out wide to Trossard, Marino was essentially in line with the right centre back who was marking him. And as the ball went out wide, the right centre back just watched ball watched, and Marino's got in between both defenders. But the left centre back is able to see where Marino was. Um, but at no point did he sniff any danger and go across to Mark Marino. He may say he was looking over his shoulder to see Saka and may have had two men, but when the actual ball came in, Saka was close to Marino and the defender didn't react to it either. So I think they both just ball watched, didn't pay attention. And Marino, I mean, what can we say about this guy? My opinion, I don't think he's a good striker. Um, I mean, as a midfielder, I'm not too high on him either. But I think in the box, he's one of our better players. He just has a knack of getting in the right positions. You see, he's got a hat trick for Spain. Um, so I think that translates to him being a striker, just using that same midfield, getting the box at the right time. And when he's there, he's very efficient. I wouldn't say he's deadly, but he's efficient with that left foot. I think it's a very good finish at the near post. Well controlled. Keeper had no chance. But yeah, that was 2-0. And yeah, that was it really. After 2-0, I didn't think we wasn't going to lose, but it all became a case of for the fan base and the players, no shots on target and don't concede, which is become a big thing online. Us conceding a shot on target first and foremost, but definitely conceding a goal, which is something we don't want to do. Um, at 2-0, myself, I would have rung the changes. Uh, we've got a big game at Sunderland the weekend. And in the international break, I expect our players to get rinsed by their managers respectively. So if we can give our players a rest, well, so be it. I don't think Slavia were any danger to us. If we concede, so be it. I don't think it's going to. We conceded three all season. Uh, so I didn't expect them to score two, especially with our main centre backs on the pitch. Our right back Timber, solid. But we waited. And I can't remember which came first. Was it their penalty shout on Ben White? Or no, it wouldn't have been because Ben White, they came on after the third goal. Third goal, Nico Marino, that man again. Uh, the keeper, stinker. I don't know what he's doing, trying to catch the ball at that height in the air in his chest. Didn't even try and grab the ball at his highest point with his hands. He's trying to catch the ball here, which is probably a cardinal sin as a goalkeeper. I'm not a goalkeeper, but it's pretty basic. You catch the ball at its highest point because that's the advantage you have as a keeper is your ability to stretch your arms and catch the ball at the highest point. He didn't do that. Mikel Marino, he doesn't mind getting his head on stuff. Probably not was it the simplest goal to score, but he got his head in the empty net, 3-0, game done, dusted, get the subs on. We didn't quite do it just then. But when we did, Max Dowman came on. He's now the youngest player ever playing in the Champions League. He's the first 15-year-old to appear in the Champions League. I mean, it's been a sensational 12 months for the kid. I say 12 months, not been 12 months since pre-season. It's 4 or 5 months for the kid. Making Premier League debut, Champions League debut. And you can see respected, like I said in the last pod or the pop or a sign of respect is players getting touched and kicking you before you can get started. I mean, his peers respect his ability, know what he's capable of, and they try to snuff him out of source. Um, but he's gonna learn. You have to learn hard way that players are gonna do this to him, and you have to find a way to adapt his game to make sure he doesn't get kicked like that. But just be aware, so if he sees a kick coming, he's able to jump the tackle, ride the challenge, so it causes less damage to him in the long run. But yeah, I mean, there was another highlight point. I saw it going online as well about Saliba, him stepping up into the midfield in like a kind of a different role. I mean, if you could try it, it's the game to try it. Um, do I like it? Not really. I don't think I don't have Saliba down as a ball as a fantastic ball player. I think he's got ability to be press resistant, as in wriggle out stuff and maybe dribble the ball. But in terms of I don't have Saliba down as a silky player like a John Stones. So it was similar to that kind of John Stones role, as in just jumping in the midfield. But you look at John Stones the way he plays, and you can see he's got a bit of silkiness about the way he plays. That's just my opinion. Yeah. But yeah, we march on 3-0. We did get overtaken by Bayern Munich again because they played later on in the evening. But we're one of two teams at top of the league now on 12 points. Interplay tonight could join us in 12 points. I think only us and Inter have not conceded yet in the competition, which bodes well. And like I said, I think we've all but secure qualification for the playoffs at least. I mean, we've got a few weak teams coming to the Emirates still. We should be 3 points, but obviously we want to finish as high as possible to help our seeding. Is already seeding these days. Liverpool finished top and got PSG, so you never know. See how the cookie crumbles. But um, we've got a few injuries. Going into Sunderland game, we'll do a separate Sunderland pod. Um, but we still, I mean, we talk about our squad depth, it's still there as such. Can you imagine we didn't make these signings in the summer? How screwed we'd be, really? You know, um, we really tap into our full resources, and it's a shame we're back at where we was at the end last season, having naming a few youngsters on our bench. This is what we try to get away from. We want to have the depth to not have Rojas and Setford and Sago Jr. on the plane to Slavia Prague, but something's happening. I don't know what it is with the injuries, especially the hamstring. We've got the curse on the hamstring again, Gyökeres. I mean, it's easy to look from a distance and say, oh, it's training. It's a training technique. Well, we just don't know what it is. Well, I mean, we don't know what it is. It could be training. It could be, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Can't speculate. We don't know. Um, yeah, I mean, shout out to Miko Marino stepping up um, and just contributing where he can in a position that he's not played before he came to Arsenal, well, that I'm aware of. Ethan, he got hooked. Ethan got hooked. And there was annoying, there was actually an annoying part in the first half where Ethan got booked. So it's similar to what he done against Burnley at the weekend, 94th minute, where he's our player on the edge of the box, tasked with stopping the break and keeping the play alive essentially for us to keep them penned in. And on Saturday against Burnley, he got beat. He didn't do his job. We got hit on the break, which led to the free kick. Gabriel got booked, which then he hit the post from. On a different day, that free kick goes in, and our clean sheet record's gone. And again, in the first half yesterday, I mean, he misread the bounce of the pass, and I mean, kudos to him. If you do that, we expect you to stop the play. by any means necessary, and he took the foul by grabbing the attacker. But yeah, I mean, it's just he's been given it. Excuse me. It wasn't even his best game. Um, he's trying to get involved. I see people online saying he's not strong enough, or he's just concentration's not there, etc. I think Ethan was trying. He's trying. It's not coming off. It's not coming off too great for him. I think he needs to reduce his touches, in my opinion. I think he needs to want to get on the ball, but try and do stuff in less touches. Um, yeah, but yeah, work in progress. Um, keep trying, keep persistent with Ethan. You might see why Arteta's not been playing him, but yeah, we'll see what happens with Ethan. Shout out to Nkapie. He's not getting bullied by no big man on the pitch. Ecuadorian, one phone call, you're in big problems with it. Um, but yeah, I think we had a good game. It was a comfortable game. I predicted a 1-0 win because I thought we'd make more changes, but once I start lining up 3-0 seems about right. Um, and we roll on. We roll on to the next game in the Champions League, which is Bayern Munich, who have, I think they've won every game this season. Vincent Kompany's doing wonders over there, but they haven't played the Arsenal yet. So yeah, I'll be back with Sunderland preview pods. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, leave a like on the video. If you're listening to Apple, Spotify, follow, 5-star rating. All helps the sensational content reach more people. Thank you very much. I hope you have a blessed day. Until next time, all the best.